Are you kidding me? I have to sign into chat like I'm not already signed in. Hold up, forgive me, there's nobody here yet. But people watching this later, I'm a little bit discombobulated right now because I'm trying to pin a comment and OBS is not letting me. This is why I don't use OBS. Comment. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome. Welcome to the #1 MMA podcast on YouTube. We did it. I want you to congratulate yourselves. I want you to take a moment and congratulate yourselves because you deserve it. I'm very proud of the things that we've accomplished here. I'm very proud of the things that we've been able to do with this. And it's only just begun. We've only just begun. I want to thank everybody for being here. The World Wide Web is a big thing. It's a big thing. There's a lot of other places that you could be right now, but you chose to be right here. You chose to be right here. I don't know if you're unemployed. I don't know if you're on house arrest. I don't know if you're on your lunch break. Because it is far later into the day than I planned on streaming. It was another foggy day. It was another foggy day. Guess what? It was even less foggy than yesterday. I couldn't see any fog in sight. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I'm honored. Got a couple things to talk about today, like ridiculous matchups. Ridiculous UFC events that we're paying even more money for now. What else are we going to talk about? Ariel Helwani beefing. This is the best that they've given us. We could talk about Jake Paul. We could talk about Ariel Helwani beefing. We could talk about that female fighter dipping out on her husband and maxing out his cards. Or we could talk about fights. I appreciate that, Jane Caulfield. I feel the same way. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Oh, no. Don't start that again. Don't start that again. Hey, I'm trying things a little bit different today. I'm trying to use a different platform. I'm trying to make things as smooth as I can for you guys. I'm trying to make it a little bit better. I try to add things here and there as we go. I'll try to improve these changes. This is a little bit small for me. Hold on. Let me see if I can fix this. Let me see if I can make improvements on the fly. I don't know if it'll let me. I'm trying to make improvements. I'm trying to give you the best experience. Let me see if it'll let me. Yeah, this is giving me a hard time right now. Hold up. I'm trying to get myself out of the way so that the chat's better. The chat was like way too small right now. It was way too small. Hold up. Let me see. Maybe something like this. Maybe that works better. I'm not sure. I just like having the wiggle room. I like being able to, it looks different on the screen. Hold up. There's a lot of trial and error right now. There's a lot of trial and error. I'm just working out the kinks right now. Come on! Congrats, come on, you did it. That's what's up. Hey, this is a perfect example of how to congratulate yourself. Congrats. Hey, come on. Congrats, come on, you did it. Lowrider bow, please. Thanks. I'm literally soaking it in. Jorge versus Colby is the best pre-fight build-up ever. Yeah, I guess. Thank you, Kaimon. I appreciate you congratulating yourself. That's what it's about here. We need to pat ourselves on the back. We done good work here. We put a lot of work in. And we're not halfway done yet. Probably like 2/3 of the way. I don't know how long we're going to keep this going, but we're doing good so far. I hope my boss will understand my loss of productivity this week. Hey, Zach, all you got to do is you got to set like a foundation. You got to, it's like when you start a new job and you go too hard and you're trying to like make a good impression, and then you realize, oh snap, I messed up. Now they're gonna expect this all the time. You got to like reset. The best thing for you, Zach, will be if you kind of like, try to find a way to get sick or something. Because I don't know, like a vacation might be a little too obvious. You probably have to like try to make yourself throw up at work or something like that, and then be gone for a few days, and then when you come back, you could try to hit that reset. Like if you just try to come in Monday and then Tuesday all of a sudden you hit that reset, start acting different, you're gonna get some looks. It's gonna be a little bit obvious. But if you could find a way to get yourself sick, give yourself a little gap, come back, reset, start acting different, start being like less productive little by little, then maybe they'll be like, maybe I was wrong about that fool. Maybe he was always kind of lazy. And then you could be able to like, go under the radar a little bit more. Come on, you are correct. You are correct. Look, I'm going to talk about what I mean by what I'm saying. I'm going to talk about it. I just want to make sure that we're not being hypocritical about what we're saying. That's all I want to do here today. I just want to make sure that we know what we're saying, why we're saying it, and that we have integrity in our decisions and in the fights that we want to see. That's it. So I will be clearing that up. I'm a little bit distracted right now because unfortunately there's some things that I can only test while I'm live. And I didn't want to go and do a live stream and be all boring and just be talking about, hey guys, is this working? Is that working? And make that kind of a stream for you. I wanted it to look good and off the bat while being able to actually get to our topics. So I'll be trying to look at it as we go. Oh my gosh, Zach Hughes. I'm having a kid in May. So I'll get 12 weeks off. Perfect. Oh my gosh. Hey, Zach, you know what I did? Zach, you can follow in the Grandmaster's footsteps. When Jesse Jr. was born, I actually had a job that I kind of thought that I was going to be in for the long haul. And I was like trying to move up the ranks and stuff like that. And when Jesse Jr. was born, I didn't even know this. I think I mentioned it kind of recently, like in another video. You know that the dads could take leave now? Like, I think a lot of people don't know that, or it's like a new thing, or maybe it's only in California. I don't know. The dads could take a leave too for like bonding time or whatever. And when I left, I left work for that bonding time. And while I was gone, I was like, I don't think I could ever go back to that job. Like, being away from it, I realized how much I hated being at it. And then, like, I remember during my leave, I called and I was like, hey, I'm not going to come back. So, like, yeah, that's a perfect time to hit that reset. Like, in the way that we were talking about, but even, like, on some kind of, like, existential level, I think that things are going to be changing for you, like, quite a bit during that period. And that is definitely a convenient time to get really lazy. That's brilliant. I'm glad that you're doing that so that you can slack off at work more. That's a good idea, Zach. John Lee, thank you so much, John Lee. John Lee, thank you for stopping by. Man, a few words. I appreciate it. Tim C, Francis or Gain? Who you got, Grandmaster? Gain. I got nothing against Nogano. Nothing. But I am a realist. I do think that they're both big. They both got power. I mean, it's kind of a simple equation. Two big dudes with power can knock each other out, but one of them is way more technical and patient. Nogano, he comes out for two different reasons. He comes out swinging like a wild man. The first reason, because he knows he's got that power and it got to his ego. He's in movies punching dudes in the groin. He's on commercials saying that he hits harder than a truck and all that. It gets to his head. So he starts coming out swinging big. That's the first reason. Just thinking too much of himself. The second reason, he kind of fights like Usman. He thinks so highly of himself and he's so confident in his capabilities that when he's even like questioned or pushed or tested, it's like he's like, oh no, you didn't. And he just starts swinging and going crazy. Like, now I'm going to get you. And it's like, yeah, but if they're smart, you're not going to get them. Because they're just going to duck under all your haymakers and they're going to sidestep and they're going to counter check and all that. If they could keep their composure while this wild man is coming at them. Rosenstrike could not do that. Stipe Muchacho did it. Stipe Muchacho was able to do it the first time. The second time, Stipe Muchacho had that air of like, I'm the man, you know? The second time Stipe Muchacho had that, he wasn't the same fighter the second time. He was a little bit egotistical, you know? That fool came into the cage feeling all cute and everything, you know? With his new little haircut and his glasses, the Warby Parkers or whatever. That fool came in there thinking he was like the second coming of Luke, what's that fool's name? Luke Rockhold. You know, he was thinking about like the beauty before brawn, you know? You can't do that when you're getting in the cage. If you want to retire, if you want to get out of the game and use your name and start getting on magazines and spraying perfume and stuff like that, go for it. Make that money. Start getting the blowout and stuff. Start combing your hair different. Start wearing different kinds of clothes and stuff like that. But you can't do it. You can't do it when you're going up against Nogano. You can't be playing games like that when you're going against Nogano. That's the kind of games that Nogano's playing right now when he's about to go against Cyril Gane and all he could think about is Tyson Fury. And being in films, punching dudes in the groin. He's distracted right now. So Nogano, he's like a ticking time bomb. He wants to come at you because he's got all that confidence in the world. He wants to knock your head off. And then if he is composed and you push him a little, oh no, he did it, I better show him, and then he gets wild again. He wants to be in the movies. He wants to go be a boxer. Then he's even confused about being a boxer. He says, hey, let's box. I want to do boxing before I retire. And then the boxer's like, all right, let's do it. And then Nogano's like, wait, hold up. Let's do a MMA fight with boxing gloves. I thought you wanted a box, homie. I don't know what's going on in that fool's head. I wonder if it has one of those effects. Like, this is something that I've actually thought about before. And if there's any doctors or anything in the chat, I would appreciate your feedback. I've actually thought about this quite a bit before. You know how like you could get like CTE and stuff like that from gradual, I mean like, you know, over and over the accumulative of like getting hit and hit and hit. Is there any way, and I hope you understand what I'm saying, is there any way that you could have something like that happen to you? Like, let's say you have like a makiwara and you're hitting the thing, you know, like a old school karate dude every day. You're hitting the wooden stick, or like you're hitting the punching bag, you're going hard every day, or like you're breaking bricks and stuff like that. Is there any way that even though it's not necessarily hitting the dome, just the impact, the fact that your body's hitting stuff and it's like little by little affecting your brain? I mean, you got to imagine all the stuff you're hitting. Imagine you're throwing kicks at the bag like Joe Rogan all the time. Is there any way that constant force of your body hitting something could affect your brain? I've always wondered about that. Like, hey, after doing that for years and years in training, I mean, your brain's just right here, you know? It's not that far from my arms or even my legs. It's just right here. So I always think if I'm like hitting stuff like super hard, going all out, is that little by little rattling my brain and you could get like that accumulation of CTE? If so, imagine someone that hits as hard as Francis Ngannou. I'm telling you, look at the logistics here. If there's anything to that, imagine someone that hits as hard as Francis Ngannou, doing bag work all the time, pad work, hitting stuff, kicking stuff. Imagine the kind of CTE that fool's giving himself because of his own power, his own reverberations. It's crazy to think about. Is there a doctor in the chat? Is there a doctor in the chat? I'm telling you, Daniel Grubel, like, I've wondered about that. I know people think I'm clowning. They think I'm wondering, is there a doctor in the chat? And I'm glad that you can make it, Hugh. I'm glad that you can make it, Mr. Janus. Mr. Janus. Tariq, thank you for becoming a member. Where are you at? I can see you on the screen, but there you are. Tariq AlRashid, thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member. Hit up my community tab so you can find the link to the Discord. You could get in there. You could be chatting with everybody. Is there a doctor in the chat? See, that's what I'm saying. Super Juggernaut agrees with me. Sufyan Elgar agrees with me, but is there a doctor in the chat? Mr. Rookie is a doc. Hold up. Who's Mr. Rookie? Is there a doc? Mr. Rookie said, maybe Mr. Rookie said, hold up. Let me give you my answer. Where is it at? Thank you, Zach. I appreciate it. Now, look, I'm going to be sad. I'm only asking for Zach. So if you want to give me an answer, that's kind. Thank you. But some of you like to play too much, all right? So I'm just asking Zach Hughes. Zach, every once in a while, does it kind of glitch or freeze? Because the feed I'm looking at right now, every, I don't know, 20 seconds or so, it kind of glitches a little bit. There's like a lag. Like right now, I just saw myself freeze for like half a second. Is that happening on your end, Zach? If so, I need to fix that. Thank you for commenting on that. I am using that different camera. I did want to try it because I'm just trying to make things better. I'm just trying to go to the next level for you guys. I appreciate you riding with me, being here, watching with me. I figured the least I could do is just try to give you a better experience, give you some chat, give you some animations here and there, give you some photos. I was thinking every once in a while during Below the Beanie that we could take a moment at the end or something to do the meme reviews. And I keep accidentally looking at the camera right here because that's where I'm used to it being. And now I have to remember that it's right here now. So forgive me, I'm still getting used to this. Yeah, it did freeze for a second. Oh man, I don't know how to fix that. Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that. It probably has something to do with the latency or something like that. The problem is I don't know what latency means. Okay, Moyman Mosley says, professional doctor here reporting for duty. Can you give me an answer? What's up with what I asked? Did you hear that part? I'm pretty sure you can't get CTE through your hands, Grandmaster. Yeah, hey, Charles Barkley. Listen. With all disrespect, if I have a question regarding basketball, I'll come to you first thing. But I'm asking right now about the effects of CTE, all right? I'm asking about people working that bag, hitting the makiwara, breaking bricks. Can they accumulate? Hold up, please forgive me. I don't want to get boring or anything. I'm just gonna try to read through the chat right now because I'm not trying to get CTE, you know. Hey, Sufia and Elgar, I appreciate you noticing. Thank you, and I'm gonna keep trying to do my best to keep improving and trying to get rid of this lag. I'm gonna keep trying little by little. I'm gonna add more things. I'm gonna try to figure out how to get a time clock on here. Hey, Diamond Poznem, I appreciate it. That's all I'm asking for. It means a lot to me. Oh, Abdul answered it. Let me scroll back. What do you say? Oh, I don't see it. I don't see his name back here. I do want to tell you guys this. I know sometimes a lot of you say stuff in the chat and maybe it gets frustrating because it feels like I didn't address it or I didn't see it or whatever. Most of the time, I go back and I go back. I know it sounds pathetic, but I really want to hear from you guys. Like, I mean that. Most of the time, if not all the time, I go back after the fact and I look through the chat, like the whole stream, because I want to know what you guys are saying. I want to know how you guys feel. I want to know what you guys are thinking about, what you guys want to see. So if you ever say anything, you're like, that fool didn't even read it. I go back later and I'm reading the stuff. So if I don't see it right now, I'm going to go find out about that CTE later. Hey, nice to see you in here, Connor. I'm glad you made it. Epoch97 says, I Googled it. It involves brain fluids and your brain swishing around in your dome. Thank you, Adam Jeremy. You know what? Look, I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but something I have wondered in the past. I actually would I remember even when I was like a teenager, I would be concerned sometimes when I would do jumping jacks because I would feel like that. Like if my brain was like moving around in there too much, I was like, oh snap. Is this just me? Like, do I got some loot? Like, do I got a couple bolts missing or what? Because I felt like that would happen sometimes when I would do jumping jacks. And I was like, I better stop doing jumping jacks. So it's interesting that you're saying that it's about the brain moving and sloshing around and stuff like that, because I've definitely experienced that. And it is very concerning. Hey, Cali Grizzly, 559, nickel 9. Central Valley. I'm gonna scare my neighbors. I appreciate that. Yeah, it means a lot to me, the people that show up, the people that participate, the people that have thoughts, and the least I could do is you know, if I can't even acknowledge it on here, I'm looking at the wrong camera again. The least I could do is just have it seen. You know, I go on YouTube channels that I love to watch, people that I love to consume their content, and I'll comment, I'll get in the chat, and you know what? It feels good when it's seen. It feels good. Sometimes I'm on their fanboy, and I'll go on the channel that I like, and I'll leave a comment or I'll chat or something, every once in a while they respond and I'm like, oh, like it feels good. So like the least I could do is like just see it, you know? Like that's nothing like for me. Like I should be doing that, you know? Oh, this is green tea. It's my green tea, my homemade green tea. The green tea matcha. It's not just green tea, it's the green tea matcha lemonade. Let me get it right. Yes, it is. Your pal Arkham. All right, look it. What if Francis accidentally hit himself and gave himself CTE? See, that's what I was thinking at first. That's what I was playing around with in the beanie at first. But then I thought, wait a minute. He doesn't even have to. Because you know how sometimes, like that Ryan Garcia, you see him like doing all that stuff that you would never even do in a real fight. And it's weird. Like, why are you doing that? I was thinking, what if Ngannou accidentally hits himself or misses a pad and hits himself? But I was thinking, he doesn't even need to do that. What if he gets a cumulative CTE just from training and hitting other stuff? That's why I started asking the question, because I actually have wondered about that in my real life, and I've never had someone that I was able to ask. And I feel like a bunch of people probably answered it because my demographic, my demographic on this channel is actually 85% medical experts. I don't know how that happened, but medical experts do like watching this channel. Medical experts and 2% the people that like to watch excellent MMA. That's my demographic. But I'll have to go through the chat later and read about that. Hey, thank you for sharing that to Cali Grizzly 559. That makes me feel good. It makes me kind of feel like I'm somebody, you know. Thank you for that little compliment. Wave runners could cause brain damage. Snap. So look it, I don't want to disrespect you and your time, all right? I want to address the thing that this video is supposed to be about. Of course, I still want to go back and back. We're going to be doing that in between here and there. But I want to talk about this fight that everybody's talking about right now. Finally, we got something that's the predominant thing in the headlines that's actually a fight. I've been talking about it the last few days. Jake Paul was dominating the headlines for the last several months. I talk about it quite a bit because that's my job. Why am I not going to talk about the most electrifying man in combat sports entertainment? What else am I going to talk about? Oh, I know what I could talk about. When Jake Paul's fight is finally over and done with and people are kind of like not thinking about him right now, we're going to start talking about Ariel Helwani, a news reporter or whatever he is. I don't even know what to call that fool. Gossip analyst. I don't know. Ariel Helwani is now beefing with another fighter that everyone thinks is a joke, Dylan Dennis. Okay, we'll start talking about that then, because now that's dominating the headlines. Okay, and now finally we're talking about a fight. Okay, I'm with you. We're talking about a fight, but that, like, I don't think it's a good fight. I don't think it makes any sense. So I don't like it, but I'm gonna have to talk about it because I know a lot of people do like it, and I think it's important for me to tell you why I don't like it. Zach Hughes, I give Francis the edge since he put operation and a skill saw in his heavy bag. Hey, that's a deep cut. That's a deep cut, Zach Hughes. Zach Hughes is referring to one of my videos where I was showing you how to train on the heavy bag. I actually can't remember what that video was called. Was that about training on the heavy bag? Was it the one about how to throw a punch? I can't remember. I made a video and it had a heavy bag in it. And I was showing you the kind of stuff that you could put in it to train your hands and make them harder. That's a deep cut, Zach. That was one of the favorite videos that I ever made. And nobody watched that one either. But I'm glad that you let me know that you saw it. Did I say I liked it? Look it. Okay, I'm glad that you called me on it. I'm glad you called me on a shopping cart chair. I'm glad that you called me on it. Noonsy, I'm a retired hippie from New York. You're all right, bro. Thank you for being here. That's a new demographic for me. That's a new one for me. Thanks for paving the way. Listen. I'm being a little bit hypocritical right now, all right? I like the Covington versus Masvidal fight. I don't like the Covington versus Masvidal fight. Now, let me tell you why. I heard about this fight. It was in talks. They're going back and forth. They're beefing. There's drama. We expect that. These fools have been doing that for the longest. Do we like that? Yeah, it's entertaining. We like to see the drama. And I always point it out. This is what most of us grew up on right here. All right? I know some of you younger folks, you grew up watching like Tito Ortiz and Chuck Liddell, stuff like that. Us old school vatos, the seniors over here, we grew up on this stuff. When UFC wasn't even when UFC was like happening in backyards, and it was like real sketchy and stuff like that. We were watching this stuff. We were watching the Attitude Era. All right, we were watching SmackDown, Monday Night Raw. So that's the reason why we like to see the drama. It's instilled in us, this innate thing. We like to see the drama. We like to see them cutting those promos. We carry that with us wherever we go. You know, do, GM, you were right. Volk vs. Zombie. Exactly. And I'm going to get to that. This is going to be part of my point right now. It's all coming together. It's all coming together. I knew what that fool was doing. He was in a rush. He was in a rush to kill that zombie. I'm telling you, like, it couldn't be more like that low-hanging fruit. The fool's falling apart right now. He's like as close to being a zombie as he's ever been. His arm doesn't even work. He has a shoulder separation. He's injured. He just got pieced up by Ortega. The guy that Volkanovski just beat. Jigga Man's going to take out Cater. Look, I don't want to get distracted right now. It happened. It did happen. I knew it was going to happen. But look we like to see the drama on Twitter. When they're at the press conference, they're talking about each other. They're talking papas. They're saying dumb stuff. They're sharing memes. This fool's hanging out with his sister, with his ex-wife, whatever. It's funny. It's enjoyable. But now they're going to fight. Oh, hold up. They're going to fight now? Why are they going to fight? The fight doesn't make any sense at all for Colby Covington. The fight doesn't make any sense for Colby Covington. Now look I'm going to tell you the truth right now. If I'm looking at the rankings, if I look at the rankings right now for the welterweight division, we got Usman, let's see, Covington. Yeah, so look, I'm not talking about skill right now. I'm not talking about athleticism. I'm not talking even about rankings. I'm not talking about matchups, who did this against that, what's their skill set. I'm just talking about likability right now. All right, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm talking about likability. This is like WWF style decisions right here that I'm making. All right, this is just likability. I know a lot of people aren't gonna like to hear this, but I'm gonna tell you the truth right now. As far as the welterweight division is confirmed, I mean, until we get down to like Stephen Thompson at number 7, the person that I probably like to see have the belt most is Covington. I know a lot of people like to hate that fool because they don't understand kayfabe. They're a little bit, how do they say, dense, and they don't understand that there's a difference between Covington and Cejudo and Conor McGregor and Adesanya. They don't understand that there's some fools that are saying, "Hey, fool, we're doing this to make money, all right? I'm glad, I love you, bro. I got you. It's all love, you know." And then there's other fools over here who are a bit like sociopathic and like maybe they got bullied and maybe they have a story like that, but then they stayed around too long that they became the bully themselves, and now they're just like lashing out in a way that they don't know how to like deal with the pain and stuff like that. So now they became the thing that they hate him. You know what I'm saying? So there's people that don't understand that you got your Cejudos and your Covingtons and your Stone Cold Steve Austins and your Undertaker and your whole cult. You get what I'm saying? And then you got your Adesanya and your Conor McGregor and your Jeffrey Dahmer and your War. You know what I'm saying? There's different camps. So I know that there's going to be people that want to come at me if I say I'm a Covington fan. Hey, did you hear what he said about these people and that people? And then he did. Yeah, fool. Did you watch that one movie where that fool was killing everybody? Yeah. Do you not like that actor anymore because you actually think he's a murderer? Or do you know that he's an actor and that was a movie? Do you know that? You know how it was on the screen and it wasn't in real life? You know that was for your entertainment purposes, right? Oh, you don't understand that? That's why you're a Conor McGregor fan? Excuse me. See, I don't know who I'm dealing with right now. I don't know what kind of people. I don't know the percentages right now. I don't know who I'm talking to exactly. I know there's truthers in here. I know there's truthers littered in here because that's what we're all about. That's what we stand for. But you know people are gonna creep in. You know you got little insects and stuff flying in through the cracks. It's always gonna happen. So I know that I'm talking to a mixed bag right now. But you gotta understand what I'm saying. So look it. If as far as I'm confirmed, again, until we get down to like Stephen Thompson, because that's my guy. I would like to see Covington with the bout. I'm just talking about likability. And if we're talking about skills, yeah. Is there a good argument for the fact that he won the second fight? Sure. And that he was leading in the first fight if that fool wouldn't have stopped the fight, because why not let him fight with the broken jaw? He's a machine. Sure. But I'm not talking about that right now. I'm just saying, yeah, likability-wise, I'd like to see him with it. I would like to see him with it. So look it. That's the reason why I don't like the fight for Covington. If you're a Masvidal fan, this fight makes sense. You love this fight. This is a great fight. It doesn't make sense from my perspective because this is bad for Covington. It doesn't make any sense for Covington. It might make dollars, but it doesn't make sense. And you got to think about his intentions going into this fight. And I think I just heard somebody creeping in my backyard right now. Somebody was supposed to come over for something today, and I think they were just gonna, I don't even know if they were gonna let me know, so it might be kind of weird when they show up. But when you look at the rankings, so look, I heard about it. They're briefing, they're saying stuff, they don't like each other. I love it. Let's do it all day. But then they're talking about they're actually gonna make it official. I think, oh no, I don't like this. Because I start looking at things. I start making sense of things. Colby Covington absolutely has nothing to gain against Masvidal except some money. So look, if that's your perspective, Colby, you just want to make some money because that Masvidal, for whatever reason, maybe because he has fans that are still holding on to hope just like the Conor fans, I don't know. Maybe because he talks a big game. Maybe because he was on the UFC cover. I don't know. Maybe because the backyard stuff, the street cred, I don't know. But you know he's got that name. So if it's all about that, Covington, and you want to make money, you just want to be a fighter getting that paycheck like Cowboy, like Diaz, whatever, I'm happy for you. Get that money. It can't possibly be about anything other than that, though. I can't imagine it will be about anything other than that. If that fool just sincerely wants to get down, he's like, I don't like you, fool. I want to hurt you. That doesn't exactly make sense either. Because if that were the case, they could just get down in the gym with no referee. With nobody telling them that they can't 12-6. With nobody telling them that they can't finger poke or they can't grab onto this and that. If you really don't like each other, you really want to get down, then go meet behind the liquor store. You know, send location. Get down like a real homie. Khabib's telling fools like, hey, I don't even want to be in the cage. I'm going to fly out there like an eagle. Send me location. Let's go handle this somewhere else. So I can't imagine. I'm having a hard time believing, like, I don't think it's just because they want to squab. I don't think it's just because they're tired of each other and they really want to put it into action. I don't think that, because they would have just done it somewhere else then. They would have came up with a designated location. They would have figured something out. They would have went out to the desert. They would have went to someone's garage. But they're going to do it in the, like, if you really want to hurt somebody, if you really got animosity with somebody, you really want to put your elbow in that fool's teeth, you don't want Herb Dean trying to get in your way. So that doesn't make sense to me. I don't think that's an option. It's got to be about money. And if it's about money, I'm happy for you. Get your money, Colby. Get the money. But other than that, if that fool wants to bout, see, here's the tricky thing with Colby in the situation right now. Look it. Here's the tricky thing about that. Colby is, his last 10 fights, he won 8 of them. The only 2 that he's lost was against the champion. Now, whether or not he actually should have lost, and we're talking about points, and did he get ripped off, and was it more of the, you gotta beat the champ to be the champ, and you know, you gotta bring some more if you're the challenge, whatever. It's not about that right now. Let's not get derailed by that. Do I have my own opinions on that, and do you? Sure, but it's not about that right now. We know the truth, but it's not about that. But on paper, you know, according to the record, according to Wikipedia, Colby Covington is the consummate bridesmaid. 10 last fights, won 8. Who did he lose both to? This fool and that fool? Nah, same fool. Champion. Can't beat that fool. On paper. On paper, at least. Okay? He's got a good record. He only can't beat the champion. All right, should we keep feeding him to the champion? Because he could beat everybody else? I have to admit, he hasn't fought Burns. He hasn't fought Edwards. He hasn't fought Luque. He hasn't fought Muhammad. Well, why is he fighting Masvidal? You know who else hasn't fought? Burns, Edwards, Luque, Muhammad, Masvidal. Masvidal hasn't fought him either. He hasn't worked his way up to Covington. And Masvidal, out of his last 10 fights, he lost 4. But you got to consider, he really lost 6. He should have lost 6. Because one of those wins that he had, one of those wins was against Ben Askren. Need I say more? That shouldn't count as a win. Who's not beating Ben Askren right now? Another one was against Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz, you know, I was riding with Nate Diaz for a long time, and it hurts me to say this, but Nate Diaz gets beat more than a snare drum at Guitar Center on the showroom floor. Like, you don't even have to go get it off the shelf or nothing. It's the one right there. Like, all the little kids and grandpas and stuff, they just give it a little... Like, they're not even going to buy it. You know they're not going to buy it. They went to buy a keyboard. But they just wandered in there because everything's right there. Why not? It's just like playtime, you know? Where a kid could be a kid and whatnot. It's right there in front of your face, so you just give it the... They give it the little... You know how everybody does that thing? That's Nate Diaz. So 4 out of his last 10 he lost. It should have been more like 6. You can't count those as wins. Especially not in this conversation. We got to take things serious. We got to hold people's feet to the fire, you know? Arthur D! Hey, GM, love the daily podcast. More importantly, you've inspired me to drink a gallon of water a day. What's up? I'm glad to hear that, Arthur D. I'm glad to hear that. It feels good. It feels good. Look, I'm going to tell you the truth, everybody. There's been a couple days where I mess up and I'm busy. Because when I'm working and I'm in a flow, I'm like a robot. I'm not thinking about food or drink or nothing. And then hours later, I'm like, oh, I got to eat something. There's been times where I've been pushing myself and then I have to chug a lot later. Like, not in one shot. I'm not trying to kill myself, but like closer together than I'd like to. It's not fun. But when you just spread it out and you just have a glass around all the time, this is not water right now. This is not high quality H2O. It is my green tea matcha lemonade. But when you just have a glass, like I'll have this. Oh, I don't have it right now. I have my little jug. I always just pour it into a glass and then I'll just take sips as I'm doing stuff. By the time I know it, I already finished one. And then it's not even like lunchtime yet. And then I'll just start sipping the other one. I'm feeling good. I do stuff like I'll make sure I have salt, electrolytes and stuff in my body. I'm not just trying to be nothing, but I'm not just trying to be I'm not trying to be a human water balloon, you know? I'll put that salt in my body. Hey, I love Cheez-Its. I love Cheez-Its. Don't even come at me with goldfish. I love Cheez-Its so much. But I'm glad to hear that, Arthur D. It's been doing me some good. Hold up, my chat is spazzing out real quick. Lord of the Gays. Ayo, shout out Sean Ranklin. Big ups, Liquid Richard. Hold up. Let me get you. Ayo, shout out Sean. Shout out to Sean Ranklin. Big shout out to Sean Ranklin. And big ups, Liquid Richard. Hey, you sound like Andrew Bernard. Who's Liquid Richard? Shout out to Sean Ranklin and Liquid Richard. Woo, woo, woo. The Lord of the Gays. He's a happy dude. Nelson Omuro. I appreciate you, Nelson Omuro. I appreciate you. You nailed it 100%. It would be better to see Colby fight a better opponent, but he could beat Masvidal relatively easy without taking any damage and have a quick turnaround for a quality opponent. Win for him. Now, Sinomuro, I like the way you think. I like the way you think. Okay, so let me break it down for you really quick, okay? Let me just lay it all out right here. Colby Covington and Masvidal are supposed to fight at UFC 272. It's official. Colby Covington is ranked number 1. Jorge Masvidal is ranked number 6. Okay? Neither of them have fought the fools in between. Colby Covington, Masvidal, neither of them have fought Gilbert Burns, Leon Edwards, Vicente Luque, or Belal Muhammad. Okay. So Jorge is not doing his part and working his way up. I know, I mean, it's crazy. It's so crazy how, let me hit up the Wikipedia real quick. It's so crazy, I'm telling you, how I was just looking at it yesterday. Jorge Masvidal, I mean, that fool's got a record like Nate Diaz. Jorge Masvidal, all of a sudden, he did what he did to, I mean, I guess he got a little high. The timing was perfect for Masvidal because the Ben Askren thing came out of nowhere and that's what just went boom. But the fact that it came after that Darren Till win and the way that win happened with the knockout, that really put him in a interesting position. If that Ben Askren thing would have happened right after he lost to Damian Maia or right after he lost to Stephen Thompson, it would have been like, oh, that was a freak kind of thing. That's crazy. That was lucky. Good for that fool. That was weird. But the fact that it came right after that knockout, and, a name like Darren Till, like today, Darren Till is, I think he's just an Instagrammer now. Oh, no, he got kicked off of Instagram. Today, Darren Till is kind of like a social media, he's like a meme dude. He's like I don't even know what you call him. He's like a social media meme page kind of guy. But months and months ago, he used to be a fighter. And he had a big name. And for Masvidal to be somebody like Till, and then right after that, do what he did to Ben Askren, the way he did it, made him a superstar. And he's been riding off of that. It's like someone's comment I saw today. He's been riding off of that like Cobra Kai's been riding off of season 1. It was good at that moment, but now it's like, all right, we know that you're the fools that made that first one that was actually good, but now it's like, what are we doing here? So he did that win against Till, got Ben Askren, and then right after that, of course. I mean, it's just like moment after moment of being in the right place at the right time for that fool. That's like Masvidal's trajectory lately, the fool that was in the right place at the right time. Because look, I'm getting all paranoid, I'm telling you. I keep feeling like I'm hearing stuff. He got that win against Till. You know what? Good for him. That was a big win. Then he had that moment against Askren, and then of course right after that, Nate Diaz. But again, look it. Nate Diaz is a lovable individual. People like to root for him. I like to root for him. I like to watch him. I was rooting for that guy for the longest, but it's like I got tired of rooting for Holly Holmes. Or I got tired of rooting for Michelle Waterston. I got tired of rooting for, I'm not even going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say that name. I'm not going to be disrespectful. But there's people that you root for time after time. You're like, why don't you do that thing that you could do? Why do you keep like, what's the problem? Why are you freezing? What's going on? That's what happened to Nate Diaz. Anyway, that's my long-winded way of saying that win against Nate Diaz was like... And then after that, he loses twice in a row to Usman. Masvidal loses twice in a row to Usman, and now he gets a shot at the number 1 contender. He beats Ben Askren. Jake Paul beat Ben Askren. Oh, you beat Ben Askren? Jake Paul beat Ben Askren. He beats Nate Diaz. Oh, you beat Nate Diaz? If the cut man, the lube man, what's that fool's name? When you come out to fight and they put the lube on you and they check your fingernails, if that fool touches Nate Diaz too hard when he puts the lube on, he's gonna open up a cut. It doesn't take much. Oh, you beat Nate Diaz? So did the lube guy. Then he loses twice to the champion. I know what to do with that fool. I know. Let's give him to the number one contender. Do Till and Jake Paul switch careers for real. Hey, that's a good way to look at it. It looks like they did. And then exactly, then they're making up fake bouts. This is what I'm talking about. Look at the BMF thing. Masvidal, he had this hype that he wasn't able to back up in a long-winded fashion. His time was short, and Dana White knew this. He had to make that fool his own bout. That's like when it's a little kid's birthday or something, and you have to and then you have to give the other people. I don't do that. I don't get down like that. But some people do that. You know, like the millennials and zillennials. I don't even know what they're called now. When it's someone's birthday, and you don't want the other kid to feel bad, so you get them a gift too. Fool, you gonna get the neighbors a gift too, so they don't get jealous. When you go to the store to buy the gift, are you gonna buy a gift for the cashier too, so they don't get sad when they're ringing up the gift? Like, oh, I wish I had a gift too. Oh, I got you one. I got you. That's what they had to do for Masvidal. Look, Masvidal, you want a bout? Let me get you a bout. I'll make you one right now. That's what happened. What happened? I mean, it's getting more, and it might be okay because look, I'm gonna bring it back around to something right now. Adam Jeremy, you could cut Nate Diaz in line. Hey, I'm gonna screenshot that one. Hey, that's good. You could cut him in line and win. So look at. Not only is Masvidal not working his way up like he should, he's not working his way back up. Covington, I mean, if we're going to be honest, he's kind of doing a disservice to the guys below him to not give them their shot at the number one contender, which is who he is. That doesn't look like it's not the best look for him either. If we're talking, but something that we do have to consider. Are we going to be mad at that as fans, as viewers, as consumers? Or are we being hypocrites? Am I being a hypocrite right now? Let me unpack that for you. Because I'm talking about how I like the drama at first. I'm talking about how I like the beefing. I'm talking about how I like to see them trash talking and everything. But then when the fight gets announced, I'm like, oh, wait, I don't think I like that. How come? Because it doesn't make sense. How come? Because Colby's already way up there and Masvidal's way down there. It's not a good decision for Colby. And of course, I'm looking at it from that perspective because I guess you could say I'm a Colby fan and I'm not a Masvidal fan. It does make sense for Masvidal. Doesn't make sense for Colby. Doesn't make any sense for the fools stuck in between who aren't getting their shot either way. But here's where it's like, wait, why are you being a hypocrite? Because you like the drama. You like this stuff. You like the WWF kind of stuff. You like all that, the interactions and the smack talk and stuff like that. I do. So if we're just talking about, okay, Colby, you just want to make money. Forget about legacy. Forget about taking out all the top contenders. And maybe it is part about legacy. Because maybe that is why this fight's happening. Because even though those fools are right there, Masvidal's still a more popular name. Masvidal could be even further down. He's still more popular name than more than half the fools on there. So maybe it is about legacy. Maybe it is about money. And we got to admit it. We like talking about Edwards. How come? Because people like making fun of him. People like making memes. But then they talk about how boring it is when he fights. People like to meme on Bilal Muhammad. People like to make fun of that fool. And his work as an analyst, stuff like that, and clown on him. People like him in that light. But then when he fights, that fool's boring. He got poked in the eye, he starts crying. Oh, he's just hugging people. You know, whatever it is. But we do like to see Covington fight. That's funny because we like to see Muhammad. We like to see Edwards. We like to see these fools we could clown on and make memes about. But everyone's like, oh, Covington, go away. You're annoying. I don't like you. But we like to see him fight. We like to see Masvidal fight. We like to watch fights like that in WWF. Exciting fights. The other place where they make up bouts. Dana White is just trying to be the next Vince McMahon. We've known that for a while, and he hasn't tried to hide it. He greatly admires Vince McMahon. So what does he do? You know, in WWF, I can't even remember them all right now. If you remember any, let me know. But you got the championship bout. You know, the championship title. Then I know some of, I don't watch wrestling anymore. Because back in the day when I used to get down with wrestling, back when it was real, right? Today it's fake. It's sketchy. It's weird. It's cringy. It's not the same thing. But back in the day when it was real, when fools used to bleed and hit each other in the head with chairs and stuff like that, you can't even watch it on YouTube today. When I was trying to watch a fight the other day, and look at, maybe I'm sick, all right? I wanted to see Mankind get a hit in the head with the chair because I wanted to take the trip down memory lane. I wanted to get down on the nostalgia, you know? Have you watched WWF videos lately where they like stop it, they freeze it because like CTE and stuff like that, and they don't want to like propagate that kind of stuff? So if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, but it's lame. But they do the same thing. They made the hardcore bout. Remember that Mankind's bout? They made the hardcore bout. They had the Intercontinental bout. They had the, I don't even know, the Cruiserweight bout. Even though people at lightweights could be champion, like that bout didn't need to exist. They had, I don't even know which other ones. They had a bunch of different bouts. UFC's making up fake bouts now too. What I want to see, and I talked about it the other day, I hope they make a tag team bout. That would be bad. That would be exciting. I don't know if it's ever going to happen. I think they're doing stuff like that in Russia. But I don't think they would ever bring that over here. But we like to see that crazy kind of stuff. So if we're just looking at it as fans, as consumers, that just want to see drama, want to see fake bouts, want people to make a bunch of money and wear funky clothes and cut funny promos and say crazy things at the press conferences, then it's all good. But we just gotta figure out where we stand. There are these MMA Puritans that are like, I don't like it. I don't like all these fools getting leapfrogged over. I think they should have their shot. I think they should have their time in the cage against either of these fools to either prove that Masvidal needs to stay down there or so they could get their shot against Covington and they can move up. You're either going to be in that camp or you're going to be in the camp that says, I just like the freak show. I'm not Grandmaster. I like to see Jake Paul. I want to see Jake Paul fight Dana White. I want to see Oprah Winfrey fight Drew Carey. I want to see Covington and Masvidal, even though they're so far apart in the rankings, it doesn't make any sense at all unless Covington just wants to make a lot of money. You got to choose what side you're on. Because for one side, the fight doesn't make any sense for Covington. It's dumb. Why is he going so far down when he's way up there? And on the other hand, because it's fun. Let's see these fools kill each other. It's easy to try to be mad at Dana White right now and be like, why are you doing this? Why are you allowing matches like this to take place? Why are you disrespecting the other fighters? But don't we want to see Covington and Masvidal fight? If you didn't know about the rankings, if you weren't thinking about the disrespect on the other fighters, then yeah, I would like to watch. Can I roll up right now in an empty warehouse and just watch Covington and Masvidal fight? Yeah, I want to see that. It starts to get tricky when you start to think about the disrespect toward the others who have earned their way there. But if it's just, do you want to see these two fools get down? Sure. Where do I send my money? We've known for the longest time that the rankings don't matter. It's almost insulting to our own intelligence, I have to admit, when we continue to complain about it. Me continuing to complain about the rankings and people being done dirty and being leapfrogged over is only insulting my own intelligence because I should know very well by now the rankings mean nothing. The rankings are nothing more than a talking point. The UFC, I said it a couple videos ago, the only reason the UFC has a rankings in place is just to give us something to talk about. Just to make more content. Because any press is good press. Dana White wants people talking about it. Ariel Helwani talking about it. Chael Sonnen talking about it. The rankings this, the rankings that. And Dana White's just in his office laughing. Just counting that paper. And it's funny when you think about the fighter pay and stuff like that. You have to think, is Dana White actually wrong? Should we be mad at him about the fighter pay thing? I was just talking about this the other day. Somebody said, if you could be in Dana White's position, what's the one thing you would do different? I was like, put him on a salary. Like every other big sport, like they deserve. Let them know that they're secure and they're going to have a certain amount of money to take care of their family. But then you got to think, is Dana White paying these fighters what he's currently paying them or not paying them? Is that a weird way of incentivizing them? You know, maybe if he put them on salary, they just get lazy. They get too comfortable. They'd feel like, I'm fine already. I don't even need to train. I don't need to work hard. I don't need to push myself harder. Maybe this paying them what he's paying them, these lower rates, no healthcare, no nothing, no profit shares. Maybe that's his way of saying, fools, you need to want it. Like Sean O'Malley was talking about or whatever. The fools that are crying that they're not making money, they're also not out there putting their name up. They're also not out there becoming a character and making people want to watch them, whether they want them to win or lose. And there's a point right there. Maybe Dana White not paying his fighters enough money is his way of saying, I care about you guys. I want you guys to go start your own podcast. I want you guys to go start a rap career. I want you guys to go create an account on SoundCloud and start dropping fire. I want you guys to go out there and start appearing on different shows and doing weird stuff on TikTok. I want you to do that so you can make more money for yourself. So you could be motivated to build up your own name. Because if I just pay you too much money up front, you're going to go blow it on cars and houses. You're going to end up like MC Hammer. Maybe Dana is the most caring boss that has ever existed. We didn't even know it. He was right under our beanies. He's paying them little to encourage them, to motivate them, to try. Nah, it's not that. It can't be that. No, he's a bad guy. He's just a bad dude. Yeah, scratch everything I said. It can't be that at all. But having said that though, he's a bad dude. But having said that, even though he's a bad guy and he's just a cheapskate, within that, can a fighter still decide to motivate themselves to say, forget that fool, I'm going to build up my own name and get my own money? Yes, that could still exist. You could still choose to do good for yourself, to do right by yourself, and take that bad situation and turn it into a good thing, through your own efforts. That could happen. That can exist. But a fight like this, at the end of the day, it makes no sense. It makes no sense on paper unless Covington's just trying to get that money. And we could say maybe for legacy, but not really. Because is Masvidal a big name in UFC today? Yes. But if we're talking about legacy, see, the moment someone starts talking about something like legacy, the moment a word like legacy comes out of a fan's mouth in the MMA community, you would assume that they're a little bit schooled, If you're just like a Conor McGregor type of fan, and you just like the hype, and you just like social media and seeing that fool walk around on Instagram and puffing stuff out and stuff like that, you probably don't care about legacy. You just like the flashy stuff. You just like to be entertained. You just like to go from moment to moment and post to post. When you get a fan of MMA that starts talking about like legacy, now you're thinking about records. Now you're thinking about matchups. Now you're thinking about, well, who beat that guy and who beat this guy and was he actually better? And then you start thinking that way, more analytically. So if we are talking about legacy, you can't oversimplify it and be like, beating Masvidal is good for Covington's legacy. Why? Because he was on the UFC cover? Because he has a big name and because he wore that robe that one time? Because when you actually look at his record, and even the wins that he has, when you look at who they were, and in some cases how it happened, I don't think that does anything for your legacy, Covington. What would do something for Covington's legacy is beating somebody like Burns. That would do something for Covington's legacy. Beating somebody like Edwards, Luque, and, these days, we got to admit it, that fool stepped up his game, Bilal Muhammad. But beating Masvidal? So the only upside for Covington taking this fight, the only possible upside is the money. Colby Covington fighting Masvidal does not make any sense, but it makes dollars. We know this. And as long as he's fine with that, I mean, anybody in here that has a job, why do you get up and go to your job? To make money. You're trying to make money. Why does Colby Covington lace up his gloves or whatever and, well, they don't have laces on. Why does he do what he does and go to work at the UFC? To make money. Now, there's a strange thing when you're in something like sports. You're also trying to win something. There is another element to it like that. That does come into play. But at the end of the day, I mean, just like at your job. Yeah, it'd be nice maybe if you get employee of the month. Sure. Yeah, it'll be nice if, what else could you get at a job? Your boss lets you get a free, meal for working or whatever. I don't know, working an extra hour because someone came in late. But at the end of the day, it's money. It's mammon. It's just that paper, you know? So I could understand Colby Covington only taking this fight to secure his family. That could make sense. And I can't be mad at that. I just want you to know, Colby, loud and clear. Because I know you're going to be seeing this video, because just yesterday, this podcast, Below the Beanie, became the #1 MMA podcast on YouTube. Thank you, everybody, for making that happen. Thank you for making that happen. So, Colby Covington, when you see this, I want you to know this fight doesn't make sense for you, fool. You shouldn't be fighting somebody that low in the rankings. It doesn't make sense for your legacy. It doesn't make sense for you getting back to that title shot. But if you just want to make money, then do the fight. Do the fight like yesterday then. Because there's a lot of money in that fight. There's a lot of money in that fight, actually. So I'm happy for you. It'll secure you and maybe even a little bit of generational wealth. So do the fight and then have a kid. So congratulations, Colby Covington. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Sack? Thank you so much. Colby to lightweight is the best move, I think. That fool's already so skinny, though. I can't, he would look weird if he was a lightweight. That fool would look sick. He would look like Dan Hooker. Look it. About to cook a HelloFresh meal sponsored by Sensei Chef. Sensei Chef. Whoa, who's Sensei Chef? Or is that Sensei Seth? Did he get sponsored by HelloFresh? Or is there someone called Sensei Chef? Sensei Chef. Who's that? Oh yeah, that's not real, because that's that looks like a SoundCloud rapper. Hey, congratulations to Sensei Seth. Hey, look it. We hit it. We did what we set out to do. We hit an hour. Now look it. I don't know if it's gonna be foggy day tomorrow. I don't know if it's gonna be foggy day schedule, but I'm telling you, my goals, my plans, my hopes and dreams is to be here at 9 a.m. tomorrow PST. 9 a.m. PST. But it's like that one song. I think it was Ashanti. She said, sometimes I'm late, but I'm always on time. It's like that. Sometimes I might be a little bit late, 10 minutes late or 2.5 hours, but I'm always on time. When I get here, I'm on time and I'm going to be ready to go. So I appreciate you riding with me. I hope that you show back up. Seth's character. Oh my gosh, I'm slipping. I gotta go scope that out. He made a character. Sensei Chef. That's good. That's good for him. Thank you everybody for being here. I will be back tomorrow, hopefully at 9 a.m. PST. But if not, just keep looking. It's every day, bro. It's daily. It's daily. I don't know if you get the reference. It's every day, bro. But I'm gonna be here every weekday. I hope you show up. Don't wait for the notifications. Hey, I went on YouTube chat yesterday. I went on the support thing and I was chatting with them back and forth for like 40 minutes. And I was telling them about how people are always leaving me comments and saying they don't get notifications and stuff like that. And I was like, am I shadow banned or what? And they're like, oh, first of all, we don't shadow ban on YouTube. And I was like, oh, I don't think you can help me then. If you're not going to be honest with me, I don't think you can help me. That's how they started the conversation. And then they were like, well, it looks like most of your subscribers didn't even hit the bell. And they don't have notifications on their phone on. And I was like, all right, fool. So don't rely on the bell. Don't rely on YouTube notifications. Just be here, because I'm going to be here. I'm going to be waiting for you. All right? Thank you for watching Below the Beanie. Thank you for watching Mexican Martial Arts. Appreciate it. Good looking out. I am going to go work on the breakdown right now. No llores. I'm going to go work on the breakdown right now. Late.